The Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, has dismissed allegations of pardoning police officers from the ongoing investigations into alleged abductions. IPOA chairperson Isaac Hassan assured Kenyans of its commitment to investigating all the abduction cases reported in the country in recent weeks. Hassan has said that the authority has launched investigations into 17 incidents of alleged abductions, with the probes involving circumstances witnessed during the occurrences. In its report, IPOA alleged that the abductions occurred in broad daylight, with the abductors not bothered whether they were captured on CCTV or the possibility of police intervention. According to the authority, out of the 17 victims, 3 people were reportedly tortured with a lengthy detention and experienced personal threats and injuries. The victims were also reportedly detained in a deplorable state and given transport upon release and warned not to discuss their detention or face further consequences. The National Police Service has maintained that it was never involved in the alleged abduction of the Mlolongo 3, and it is only involved in probing the matter. While honoring court summons after a long battle, the Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja and the Director of Criminal Investigations Mohammed Amin denied having taken 3 into custody and claimed the police were not involved in their disappearances.
To whom I am responsible for the efficient and effective command of the Directorate of Criminal Investigations to make sure that expeditious investigations are instituted in relation to all the missing person reports. Pursuant to that directive by my Inspector General, my Lord, I instructed my Deputy Director Investigations, Sir Paul Wachira, my Lord, who is an Assistant Inspector General.
This is Martin Mwao, who went missing from Mlolongo last month, has been identified by his family at the city mortuary. This comes after the body of Justice Mutumwa was also found at the same facility. According to the family lawyer Dan Maazo, Mwao's body had been moved to the mortuary from Ruai. Mwao, Mutumwa and Kalani Mwema were reportedly arrested on December 16th last year by individuals believed to be police officers. The National Police Service has maintained that it has never been involved in their abduction cases.
Pearl Newsbeat.
The much-anticipated nationwide livestock vaccination campaign is set to kick off in other parts of the country after setting off in Kisagera ward in Laikipia North Sub-County. Agriculture and Livestock Development Cabinet Secretary Mutai Kagwe launched the exercise and reiterated that the exercise is entirely voluntary and will be carried out over the next 3 years. The World Organization for Animal Health classifies the 2 diseases as trade-sensitive transboundary animal disease, and the government therefore is targeting to get Kenya certified as disease free.
Ambaye anajua anafanya nini, anaweza ingia kwa jamii awaambie watumie chanjo ambalo sio mzuri. Hakuna kiongozi ambaye anajiita kiongozi ambaye anaweza simama aseme mtu wa achanjo yeye binafsi, kama vile tulikuwa nasema mambo ya COVID. Na mnajua hata wakati huo kuna watu walisema hii COVID hapana, hii chanjo la COVID hapana mzuri. Hata wakati huo. Kwa hivyo it is not surprising. Hata sasa kuna watu wanasema hii chanjo sio mzuri, lakini sio kukataa, wanakataa. Ni vile hawajaelewa.
Pearl Newsbeat.
In other news, the National Assembly has given the Minister of Health and representatives from the Social Health Authority 2 weeks to deliberate and come up with a comprehensive report about the key challenges facing the new healthcare system. The Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, has directed the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health, Robert Bokose, to engage with the SHA representatives, with a report expected to be tabled before the House on February 11th. Members of Parliament were vocal about the various challenges surrounding the Social Health Authority, which mainly revolved around poor communication, inadequate funding, and unclear implementation frameworks. The National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah condemned the authority's move to arrest Grace Mulee, who had stormed the ministry's boardroom to protest the SHA systemic failures. This the Principal Secretary for Medical Services, Harry Kimtai, succumbed to the mounting pressure from members of Parliament and agreed to withdraw the case against Grace Mulee.
The question that Honorable Honorable Ishungwa asked, who is the complainant in regard to the lady who was arrested? The complainant is the Minister of Health. We are, honorable members, I will want to explain here what steps we took. Let me just explain. One, because what happened was our cabinet secretary was issuing a press statement. And then all of a sudden, we saw some group, we didn't know who they were initially. We are going to withdraw the case.
Pearl Newsbeat.
The evangelical humanitarian group World Relief is speaking out after the federal government told it to hold all government-funded activities serving almost 4,000 refugees after President Donald Trump signed an executive order suspending the U.S. refugee admission program. In an email update to supporters, the World Relief President Mial Green said that the humanitarian arm of the National Association for Evangelicals, an agency authorized by the State Department to resettle refugees in the U.S., received a stop work order last Friday. The notice came 4 days after Trump signed an executive order on his first day in office, suspending the refugee program on the grounds that the U.S. has been inundated with the record levels of migration, including through the U.S. Refugee Admissions Program. Launched in 1980, the program grants refugees the opportunity to become permanent residents and ultimately citizens of the U.S.
Pearl Newsbeat.
At the same time, the black boxes for a commercial flight that crashed into a military helicopter in Washington, D.C. has been located as questions mount about staffing and other close calls at the airport where the plane was landing. Normally, 2 people manage air traffic control for helicopters and airplanes flying in the area, one of the most controlled airspaces in the world, but only 1 person was on duty on Wednesday at the time of the crash, according to sources close to the media. Officials are still investigating the cause of the incident that killed all the 67 people aboard the 2 aircraft. The National Transportation Safety Board said a preliminary report will be issued in 30 days.
Pearl Radio, the home of fresh and classic hits.